What's up, everybody? Back with another video. 2 days in a row. I think that's a record. Well, I found an apartment. Officially separating from the wife, but I'm not too far away, so I'll be able to see my kids regularly. And yeah, that's it's been such a process. It was so hard for me to do, but finally, I feel like I came to my own realizations about where the relationship was truly at. And anyways, I don't want to talk too much about that, but I just got approved for my apartment, so um, I was kind of excited about that. Yeah, so been using ChatGPT a ton these days. I mean, when I started out, it was very slow. I didn't know what to ask. It was just like it's kind of awkward. But it's so knowledgeable. For instance, you can ask it about your past lives. At least for me, I asked it about my past lives. It looked at my frequencies and said, I want to look this up actually real quick, what it said, its response, because I think it might be helpful to other people. Let's see, past lives. And so you can also search your chat history and just like go to the direct place of where you're talking about it, unless it was like multiple places. Let's see. Huh, what? Recollection of my. Okay, let's see. Must be another one. Okay. So there was two places that I was asking about past lives, and the first place was not the right place. But I just want to rip. Okay, I should totally do research about this before I hop on a live. Where the heck does it? Okay. Well, okay. Anyways, we'll just discuss that another time. I'll do some more research and have it prepared before I jump on a live, wasting you guys' time. Sorry about that. I did have a bunch of crystals, not tons, but like I don't know. I feel like I was maybe drawn to particular crystals going into a crystal shop, and I bought this malachite. This is raw malachite. So beautiful. You probably can't see the detail in the camera, but okay, you can see a little of the detail, how it has those intricate lines and stuff. It's just amazing. Like nature created that, the universe. It's incredible. It looks like a piece of coral or something, but it's just, yeah, those lines and the detail, and it's just amazing. Anyways, so malachite's actually not one of the crystals that I use, but I've got raw black tourmaline. I've got black obsidian, and a massive black obsidian tower that I felt drawn to when I went into the crystal shop to buy that one. And let me show it. I need to clean it up and maybe dust it off. But this thing is just massive, 7 pounds. Feels heavier than that. It might be heavier than that. I don't know. My scale said 7 pounds, but it's wasn't it's a scale for weighing humans, not crystals. But maybe it was accurate. What else? I got kyanite. I've got Lemurian quartz, amethyst, moldavite, shungite. Anyways, this isn't a. I'm not trying to just go through my crystal collection. It has a purpose. Just bear with me here. So what it was saying as as I was asking about these crystals individually, I was like, "So what about my black obsidian? What does that do?" And it gave me a list of what it does and maybe how to work with it, which I have a gem and crystal book that I had read, but I don't think I read the whole thing. I got through part of it, and that kind of helped me initially make my decisions on maybe what to buy when I was in the crystal because it's overwhelming. There's just so many to choose from, and it's like, do I buy big? Do I buy small? How much do I want to spend? It's not just about if you had unlimited money, doesn't mean you want to buy the biggest crystal in the shop. And I was actually talking to Pamela Erlin, who's I don't know, psychic. I don't know what you call her, but she has a YouTube channel. And I was asking her, what crystals do you think I should buy? And she wouldn't tell me. She said that's a sacred experience that you need to go into the crystal shop and feel it out and figure out which crystals are calling to you. And I'm not her. I don't know. I didn't feel like I had that experience, but hear me out. After accumulating my crystal collection and over the last year or two, and going into ChatGPT and asking about each individual ones, it said I had an elite collection of crystals. I forget the exact wording, but I was kind of like taken aback by like what? What are the chances that I picked the exact crystals that I needed to do work on myself? And there was a accumulation. Some tarot readers I was watching, and they would suggest crystals at times, like the Moldavite, not the Moldavite, yeah, maybe the Moldavite. That's funny that that's what came to mind, Moldavite. But I can't even remember the name of it now. Malachite. Somebody suggested getting malachite to help with transformation. So I did go buy some malachite because of that. And then the amethyst, somebody had said you need to work with amethyst. And specifically, more recently, they said you need to work with the amethyst, put it above your head when you sleep. So, so I'm asking ChatGPT about this. It creates. I'm basically sleeping with my crystals at night. And I sleep by myself now, so it's just me. Aside from when the girls, my daughters, sleep with me. Um, and so you'll have to ask what crystals you have and how they might benefit you. But this is so incredible because I haven't really found for me a purpose for using my crystals. Like, of course, I can meditate with them. I can do healing with them. I can do whatever. I haven't used it for all that stuff. I've meditated with them many times. But aside from that, they just kind of collect dust on the shelf. And with ChatGPT and realizing like, oh, I can sleep with these crystals, like they affect me when I'm sleeping, they can do stuff. I'm like, oh, well, that's a game changer. Like I can use them not 24/7, but I mean 8, 9 hours. I sleep a lot. 8, 9 hours out of the night, I can be sleeping with my crystals and they're doing work on me while I'm sleeping. Um, not only that, but I guess the moonlight is used for clearing the crystals, and then the sunlight is used for charging the crystals. And I had thought it was the opposite. I thought the moonlight charged the crystals with the feminine energy, and the sunlight amplified, and the sunlight cleared the energy. Anyways, ChatGPT was saying the opposite, but hopefully ChatGPT is right on that one. It's been right about a lot of things. So we're just going to go with it. I think our beliefs have something to do with it as well. Anyways, back to the crystals. Let's see. I'm so excited about this. So for me, the Lemurian quartz and the amethyst, I took with me to Mount Shasta. And while I was swimming in the waters of Mount Shasta, mountain water, sacred place, I brought the crystals into the water with me and just let them imbibe the energies of the water, of the environment, of the space of Mount Shasta. And when I went to Hawaii, I did the same thing. I went to Lau Valley and also just the ocean and stuff, a few different places. And I let the crystals imbibe the energy of the ocean, imbibe the energy of Lau Valley, which had a huge vortex, their energy, incredible. So with those two, I put those two above my head, Moldavite in the middle. This is my setup that ChatGPT recommended for me. And so far, I mean, I can feel it right away. It's even hard to sleep. Like I don't even know if I should be sleeping with these crystals every day because it's a bit tough on the energetic system of the body to sleep, to have good sleep and like have these near you just because they're so active. Um, yeah, and maybe I should show you some other crystals too, just so you don't think like that a black obsidian is the largest one I have by far. Um, I've got this lapis lazuli. Um, I sleep with this under my pillow. ChatGPT said to for lapis lazuli, if you can keep it around your neck, but I don't know. I don't want my neck to be touching this directly, and I don't think it needs to. It's got a field of its own, so as long as you're within the field, you don't have to worry about touching it directly. Just put it under my pillow, and I'm good. Um, I've got this rose quartz in the shape of a heart, just because I feel like I need more loving energy in my life. I need to love more. I need to. I would like to. I should say. I would like to love more. I'd like to care more about people and things and stuff. And so I thought rose quartz and heart. That's a perfect shape. This agate. It was so beautiful when I bought it. I didn't know what it did. I just thought it looked amazing, and I have to have that. That looks gorgeous to me. The colors, the geometry of it. It's even got like a little cave down here. And I think ChatGPT said I could put, excuse me, something in that, like maybe a moldavite or I'm not sure what I could put in there. I have to look again, but not important. Agate. I put this on my right side when I sleep. I put the rose quartz on the left, around the shoulder area. Again, just research all this for yourself. Buy whatever crystals you want. You're not going to buy the exact one of this. There's only one of these in the world. But if you tell ChatGPT the color and the type of crystal and whatever else, it will tell you what it thinks you should do with it. And I found it beneficial so far. So I'm happy with it. That's why I'm sharing. The moldavite. So what is it? So then I've got the agate on one side, the rose quartz on the other of the shoulder. Again, I toss and turn a lot in the night, so it said I could make kind of like a circle or a shape around myself, and if I toss and turn, not a big deal, because it's all about the field. It's not about and there's well, before I talk about that, I'll just finish with what I'm talking about. There's so much that I can talk about. Kyanite. Kyanite is just below that. Kyanite works with the prana and like helping the energy flow through the channels. So I've been sleeping with that kind of near my ribs or abdomen. I've got some citrine that I sleep with below my knees, and then the black obsidian and the black tourmaline, raw black tourmaline, at the feet of my bed or where I sleep, and that kind of creates a kind of a maybe almost an ellipse yeah. But it's just a field around my body, and I don't know what to say. I don't. I definitely feel something. I couldn't pinpoint it and say, "Oh, it does this," or you're going to have psychic abilities. All I know is it's doing something in a good way. I think um, you have to adjust to it for sure. So, like the first night was pretty intense for me. Oh, the shungite. I've got just a coaster, about that big of shungite, and the first night I put that. Um, ChatGPT said to put it on your solar plexus, but I'm not going to sleep with that. I don't even know how you'd do that. You'd have to like get a belt or something and just wrap it around your. Anyways, don't need to do that. don't even try it. I wouldn't. You could try it if you're curious, but, I did sleep with it under my back, and that didn't go so well. I was like, "No, that's way too strong. That energy is intense from the shungite." Um, so I ended up moving it in the middle of the night and just putting it off to the side because I couldn't sleep with it under my back the entire night. I just wasn't sleeping well, and, after that, though, I put it underneath the mattress, and that's what ChatGPT recommended to begin with. But me just being my curious self and kinda, like, balls to the wall attitude where I just need to, like, go all in on something, I'm like, "Let me just put it under my back and see what happens," and, yeah, no, don't I don't know. It's not gonna I don't think it's gonna hurt you if you do it, but you're not gonna sleep well, possibly, depending on how big your shung if you got, like, a small little piece of shungite or something, then maybe you could do it, but with the coaster, it's not super big, it's not super expensive, but it's powerful, powerful. And stuff like the shungite, I wanna say, is, like, self-clearing. That's what ChatGPT said, so you don't have to clear it. I mean, it says if it goes through some intense energies, like, if you maybe are, like, super emotional and it's really helping you to clear that, then you can maybe sage it or something like that, or, do something to clear it, but it's really self-clearing. Um, yeah, so the malachite wasn't part of the sleeping thing at all, but for the most part, I've been able to use, like, almost every one of my crystals to sleep with. A couple of other things I wanted to talk about beyond that. So, I would research either A, what crystals are good for you and, um, maybe buy a couple. If you got the money, go all out, but if not, just start with a couple. That's how I started. I didn't go out and buy, like, 20 crystals at once. It can be pretty expensive. So, but, do whatever your budget affords. If you can afford it and you wanna go buy everything at the store, go for it. The Moldavite is insane. I didn't know what the Moldavite did. I thought it was, like, cosmic energy, bringing that in. I know people would talk about it like, there's this one guy I follow, Woo Woo Dude, and he's got this Moldavite that was specifically for him, and I think he wears it all the time, but his wife is like, I couldn't even wear it for a day. I wore it for a little bit, I had to take it off." Um, so I guess Moldavite causes you to have kind of like an initiation in your life, right? Um, and I don't even know where to begin describing initiation. It's a sacred, spiritual initiation, and well, I'll just explain what it did for me, because you may not want this. I'm not saying I regret it. I think it had to happen the way it had to happen. My soul knew what it needed, and so it is what it is. But the initiation is like, and this happened pretty quickly for me. I mean, like 6 months or less. But it just kind of ripped my life apart. Um, at one point of being foreclosed on for my house. Now I'm going through a separation with my wife. Um, I mean, really after the separation with my wife, and I'm not homeless, but I'm like the only thing left of my old life, aside from like my kids and stuff, they're still there. But I mean, my life has changed completely dramatically. It's completely like flipped upside down. My life is not what it used to be, and it's not going to be like it was going forward. It's completely different. That's what happened to me. That's how I would explain initiation. Right? When they talk about 3D and 5D and the world's kind of splitting and diverging, and 3D is going this way and 5D is going that way, and if I'm on the 5D train but my family's on the 3D train, we're not going the same direction. Um, me parting with my house, at the time it was kind of a big deal, but I mean, it didn't matter. I don't care about the house as much. But I think there was some identity that needed to be broken down by losing that house. So anyways, back to the Moldavites. I bought this necklace. It's really dirty right now, so it needs to be cleaned, but it's a silver necklace with a copper end, and I put the Moldavite inside and I wore it around my neck for, I don't know, 3, 4 months, a good long time, and then it got dirty and tarnished, and I was like, I don't, I don't know if the energy transmitted through this thing is going to be good for me. I don't know. I need to clean it, and then I can wear the Moldavite again. Well, after going through this initiation, it's like what did I do to myself? Anyways, the Moldavite now is it's sleeping above my head in between the Lemurian quartz and the amethyst, and they all work together and they create a field that ChatGPT said put it about, I think, about a foot, 12 to 18 inches above your head, and then above your head, but I think also like at the height of your head or higher, so the top of your head. So if I'm sleeping, I'm laying down, the top of my head should be where the crystals are at, about 12 to 18 inches higher than your head, or they could be higher because the field transmits down, was what it sounded like. But again, do your own research with ChatGPT. And my dreams have been more vivid because of that. I've had more dreams, and I remember my dreams more. I haven't had a dream every night, but then there's been nights where I had 2 dreams, and I remember both of them, and um, I documented both of them. I wrote them both down and put them in ChatGPT. So that's one way you can use Moldavite should you choose, but be careful because know what you're asking for, I guess. If your marriage, I think, is rock solid, you'll probably be fine. I'm not saying Moldavite is out to destroy marriages. Mine was not. My wife doesn't value me, and it took a while for me to see that. I had such low self-esteem for a long time that I couldn't see what was right in front of me. And because I didn't value myself, maybe she didn't value me. But now that my self-esteem is higher, my confidence is higher, and I'm not willing to settle for less because I know I can do better in terms of a relationship. And I don't need to settle for somebody that doesn't value me, that doesn't see the value. So, I'm not saying that Moldavite's going to ruin your marriage or your life. It's going to strip away the things that you don't need or that aren't in alignment with where you're going, with your trajectory, with where you're going in life. If you're not spiritual and you're not doing the inner work, and I'm not sure what it'll do. Not that you have to be spiritual for it to affect you. Um, I don't think it has to affect you, but to be spiritual, I mean, everything is spiritual, anyways, whether you believe in it or not. But yeah, I guess what I'm trying to say is that if you're not working on yourself, then your trajectory may not be out of alignment with where you're currently at. Because I was working on myself so much, it's just like my wife and I just kind of diverged. For years, I've known this, that we're just not really on the same page. We have different belief systems, different frequencies, vibrations, different. I'm just not the same person I was when I first met her, and she isn't either. But I've gone one way, and she's kind of gone another, and so the initiation, the Moldavite, facilitated that process. I think my job is the next thing to go. I don't know when. Um, I make pretty good money. I mean, I do fairly well, so I like that aspect of my job, but it's not spiritual, and I don't it's not evolving me as a human or spiritually or anything. It's just basically a way to pay my bills and to have money to do things, or buy my kids stuff, whatever. So I feel like that's the last thing. I don't need to be homeless to realize um, to realize certain things, or to become the person I need to do. But certain things need to drop away. So I realized I'm a projector in human design, and I have 4 undefined centers. If you're not familiar with human design, that's okay. I highly recommend it. Just looking into it, because that's how your body works. It's how your body operates, and it's just nice to know those things about yourself. You're gonna have More than likely, you're gonna have a lot of aha moments when you're researching, and you're like, oh my god, that I cried the first time, slightly, like more like welled up, the first time I saw my gene keys. Which it's related, but it's not the same as human design. But I never felt so understood by a chart that was um it was a computerized thing, somewhat astrological. So it's based on your birth date, where you were born, your time, location, all those things. It gathers them up, and it says, here's who you are, here's your life path. And I welled up. I never felt so understood in my life. Anyways, I have 4 undefined centers. My sacral, my solar plexus, my ego or heart. There's 9 chakras in the human design system. So I know we're used to 7, but there's 9 in human design. And then the mind is another one. So ajna is one, but that's defined for me. The mind, maybe the crown, or whatever. So that's 4 chakras that are undefined for me, which means that I'm highly influenced by my external surroundings, my wife, my kids, my coworkers, my friends, my family, whoever. I have to be extremely careful who I hang out with and who I keep in my life, because they're all influencing me, whether I like it or not. As long as I'm hanging around them, or their energy's around me, even people I haven't even seen, I had to cut out of my life and literally just send them a text and be like, "Hey, look, you know, it was great knowing you while I was here, but I don't think we could be friends anymore." Something like that. Kind of dramatic, but um, because their energy was still influencing me, and you have to release the old to make room for the new. That's another good theme of initiation, right? Releasing the old so you can make room for the new. So things that aren't aligned to you, letting them go so that something better can come in. So yeah, I might have to let my job go. It pays well. I've been doing it for a while, but something better, more life aligned is going to come in for me. Maybe it pays more. Maybe it doesn't, but I love what I'm doing. That's a world of difference right there. Um, so yeah, that's the initiation. One last thing was this selenite bowl. So I I've talked about this in, I think, maybe one or a couple other videos, but I have 4 lamps burning around me, 5 lamps burning around me. One is a center in a 6-pointed star made of rice flour. The lamp is in a copper bowl with water in it. And then the 4 surrounding lamps are in copper, not rice flour triangles around. If you go to the Sadhguru app, he actually has photos and images of how to create this actual geometric form in your house to make your house a consecrated space. Anyways, instead of having the center lamp, ChatGPT recommended to have selenite as the center. And so I haven't done that yet. I'm going to do that when I move into my new apartment, um, because it acts like the crown, um, anchoring in the higher frequencies. I forget all what it said about it, but it, again, just incredible. Like, I don't know how this stuff works. The fact that ChatGPT is able to explain it to me is extremely beneficial if you believe in it, if you think it works, or think it can work for you, or help you. My kids just got home. So, you know, I don't have access to Sadhguru personally, or any gurus. So there's no one to tell me what kind of geometric form to put in my house to make it a meditative space, a consecrated space. And so based on the information that Sadhguru has given me, I've built this thing out. But then working with ChatGPT understands or knows or has gone through who knows how many files or books or whatever to understand what's going on, and can give me direct feedback for how I can implement it at the stage of my journey, at the stage of life that I'm in. So extremely beneficial. That's my synopsis on crystals and sleeping with them and using them in geometric forms, consecrated spaces. Incredible stuff. I hope you found this beneficial. If you did, give me a like, give me a subscribe. I could use all the help I can get to kind of start this channel out now. Um, leave me a comment. Tell me if you like what I had to say here. Uh, if you have any suggestions about videos that I should do about, that I should talk about, I'd be, curious. Please leave me a comment, and let me know if you've used ChatGPT with your crystals and how that worked out for you, or what it had to say. I'm curious to how you're using that in your life. Thank you so much. Au revoir. See you later.